Whoa! I scared the crap out of you. You should have seen your faces. Anyways, guys, I'm here in Greenpoint today. We covered this in a video already. You can check out that video, but I'm actually here to cover a business that I want to show you. We're at 227 India Street. Just a stone's throw away from all the stuff you recognize in Greenpoint, all those glass box, buildings on the water, those really ugly buildings, and also too, places where you can stuff your face with donuts at Peter Pan. Nothing against them, it's very good. You should check it out. But we're here today at Betty Mackey Art Foundry. It's a foundry for art pieces, sculptures, and things you may recognize, like the Charging Bull of Wall Street was cast here. Really, really cool place. You're going to get to learn how it works, all that stuff. But before we start, Eric, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
Yeah.
A lot of business, a lot of activity here.
Yeah, it's very busy.
A lot of industry, a lot of forklifts and trucks. We're in Greenpoint. We're industrial part of it still. Right, you can hear a little forklift there.
Just people moving around, building materials.
People building things, moving the city forward, progressing, baby. That's what it's all about. Okay, before we start, guys, check out the Patreon. It's a huge help. That's how I fund these things. It's also, there's some extras on there. Mostly PG. Okay. Also, too, it's what keeps me from having to hawk, multivitamins on these videos. So, any support is welcome. Also, too, guys, please like the video, subscribe, do that whole thing. Helps bump us in the analytics above all the, epic vacation baby fails or whatever people are watching these days. But aside from that, guys, we're going to go into Betty Mackey. This is going to be super cool. I promise you haven't seen a business like this here in New York. We're going to get an inside scoop. We'll talk to the owner, all that stuff. Eric, what do you think? Should we do this?
Let's go inside.
For the love of God, let's go inside. All right, look at that. We're now inside the Art Foundry. Art Foundry meaning that they make art pieces here. This isn't like doorknobs and faucets. It's high art, baby. This is the important stuff. But enough rambling out of me. I got to talk to somebody who knows a little more about this than I do. To walk us through the foundry today is the owner, CEO, high-powered exec, Bill Mackey. How you doing, Bill?
How you doing?
Good to meet you. Thank you so much for having us.
Welcome.
So this is an art foundry, meaning that the pieces here are art pieces. You guys don't mass produce. It's not commercial. An artist comes in, they give you a piece, and you recreate it in bronze. Is that correct?
Correct. It's fine art. Usually they're limited to like 12 editions.
So some of the big pieces that have been covered here, the Charging Bull of Wall Street, that was done by the Betty Mackey Foundry, the predecessor,
yes.
Correct? I don't know how you feel about people just, with this beautiful art piece, everyone just lines up to take pictures with the balls of the bull. I don't know if that's exactly what you guys had intended, but it's popular, so whatever, what can you do? Iwo Jima and Arlington National Center. That's the biggest, you were saying? That's the biggest one you guys have ever
cast bronze statue.
Ever?
Yeah, cast.
Cast, right? Look at that. In case you don't know, Iwo Jima, it's the Marines lifting the flag over Japan, Battle of Iwo Jima between February and March 1945, but I digress. This foundry dates back to the early 1900s. Anton Kunst started it, a Hungarian. Then he was taken over by two people who basically bought out his widow. And then from there, your father bought them out, correct? Or bought one of them out and became...
No, eventually both of them.
Both of them, okay. And then you took over.
Then I took over.
And now you're the boss. Now you got the swagger of a boss. That's what we want to see. Cool. And then so now you're in charge here, and you're going to show us around and tell us how everything works. I don't know. What do you think? Should we walk around, Eric? Have Bill here tell us how this all gets done?
Yeah, let's have a go.
Let's have a go. Okay, so we're at the first stop, and this is the sand casting room because that's the style of casting that you guys do here. Pretty cool room, actually. So Anton Kunst, who initially started the foundry in the early 1900s, basically, I hate to say it, but he stole a bunch of sand from a pier in New York City that was from France. And it's more malleable, it's more moldable, etc. And he just took it and he started using it for casting. And that's actually the sand that we're looking at here in this room, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was a natural-based sand, came out of the ground. It had the right amount of clay, sand in it, and he recognized it and just started using it. They have different ways of casting.
Right.
Commercial casting, they use different sands, but this is French sand.
Okay.
It's a natural sand, water-based. And it can be recycled, constantly recycled, which is one of the secrets of the business. When I do a casting, I can recycle the sand after.
So basically, you know, the Iwo Jima monument, the Charging Bull of Wall Street all passed through using the same sand.
Yep.
Pretty cool, pretty cool. So, okay, so walk us through the beginnings of a piece. I don't want to talk too much because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So you go for it.
Yeah, so they'll bring me a plaster.
Okay.
It could be a portrait,
Right.
anything. And then in this particular room, we use the sand, the French sand. I apply it over the plaster, and it takes a print of the plaster, which we call a print negative, right? So if you go to the beach, you put your hand inside moist sand, you'll get the imprint of your hand in the sand. That's pretty much the same idea what we're doing over here. Once we get a print of the sculpture, then we put it in my kiln. We heat up the kiln, 1,000 degrees. It takes out the water from the sand, and then the mold, the sand material becomes rock hard.
Right.
Then it's ready to go to the melting room, and then we melt down the bronze, and we pour it into the imprint of the negative.
So the kiln is this massive thing right here.
Yeah.
I put 2 and 2 together. I'm pretty quick. So then that sand that you've used, let's say for a hand print, that would then be recycled. What would you do? How would you get it back to basic sand again?
Yeah, so they have the expression broke the mold.
You just break it.
We break up with the mold. It's old-fashioned work. You have your sledgehammers, you're breaking it apart, you take the bronze out of it, and then you have a big pile of the dried up sand, and then we just add water to it, and I put it through a special machine to make it powdery again.
Wow.
Then it's ready to use again.
Very cool. So you, Bill, are saying you invented the phrase break the mold.
No, I didn't.
And is there a reason you have older tools rather than modern tools?
Oh, that's the, I don't want to sound like an old man, but they don't make things like they used to anymore.
Listen, you're preaching to the choir, brother. I'm an old man right there with you. Look at that, old tools. Kind of like myself, an old tool.
It still works.
Yeah, it still works. That's right. I'm still kicking. All right. Well, then from here, from the sand casting room, we're going to go to the next room, which is the melting room. Right? Are we on pace? Are we doing it right so far?
Yep.
Okay, I want to be accurate. People are going to watch this video and they're going to make their very own Charging Bull of Wall Street using what I tell them. If I could open my own foundry, you better be careful. I'm going to open my own and then compete with you.
Hundreds have tried.
That's a threat. That's a threat. All right, well let's go to the melting room. All right, Bill. So now we're in the actual melting room. It's pretty cool. Unfortunately, it's very loud in here. Do you think we could turn this thing off or what? All right, that's much better. So in this room, you would come with the cast that you made in the French sand casting room, right? The Freedom casting room. Sorry. So then the cast stays there. You bring the bronze out there and you fill the cast that's already made with the bronze, correct?
Bronze. So.
Very cool.
2,000 degrees.
2,000 degrees. Wow, that's hot. That's like almost like molten lava. So you're pretty much everything is lava in here. Pretty much. This is like the real life version of everything is lava. All right, and is this pretty dangerous work?
Oh, yeah, it's very dangerous.
You're like, yeah, obviously, no, this is dangerous. I mean, obviously, you guys are pretty safe. You guys have been around for a long time. Nothing's ever happened, right?
Yeah, we have never had an incident over here.
You know, the day is young. And how many people does it take to actually do this?
I could do it with 3 people.
Three
I would
people.
like to have 4 or 5 do it, but at the minimum 3.
4 or 5. That's another plug right there, guys. You're looking for a job, come see Bill if you want to do some bronze pouring. So you just heat it up, you make the bronze, pour it, and it's done.
Yeah, it has to be the right temperature. So it has to pour into the mold at the exact temperature. If you take too long, then you're going to have a bad casting. I try to have enough jobs, enough different pieces of art to pour at the same time. It would be too expensive to just pour each one individually. So yeah, my crucible holds 600 pounds, so I try to get 600 pounds worth of casting.
600 pounds. Well, let me know if you need someone to lift that up for you. You know, I could probably lift that up myself. No big deal.
Using my crane.
Yeah. I'd probably have to use the crane. I'm not going to lie. I'd probably have to use the crane. So then from here, you would fill the cast, and then it would dry, and then you would take it out to be cleaned. Is that right? Clean the sand off and everything?
It doesn't dry. It cools.
Cools.
Cools, and then, yeah, we have to clean it up. Yep.
Okay. And this room looks different from, let's say, the room in like Terminator 2 where the T-1000 gets, or, you know, where the Terminator gets lowered down into the molten, you know, steel or whatever. Is that because of the commercial foundries versus?
Yeah, that's a commercial foundry.
Okay.
So like I said, I do 600 pounds. They're doing tons.
Gotcha. It's a very, very sophisticated questions that I ask here, Bill. I don't know if you picked up on that. Okay, so then from here it goes, it's filled in the plaster cast, and it has it cool, and then it's taken to the cleaning room to be finished, right? So if that's the next step, should we just go there?
Sure.
Let's do that. Okay, so now we are in the final stop. This is the finishing room. Right. So here you would bring a piece. It just came out of the cast that you made in the French casting, the Freedom casting room. And then it comes out of there.
I'm making Freedom casting try to stick.
Anyways, it comes out of there, and it still has the sand on it. It still has some of the sand, so it has to be finished, it has to be cleaned off pretty much, right?
Yeah, all the gates have to be cut off, and we have to do welding, sanding.
Cool. All right. So then, and that process would be done with like a sander or like Lysol wipes. I mean, how would you do it?
Grinding machines, sanding machines, hand files, you name it.
And here in this room, you have a lot of the different like maquettes and back. So you were saying you keep a certain amount of each art piece, right? Is there a reason that you do that?
Fine art. If you're going to buy something, invest in something, you're promising that there's not going to be any more than 12 of them.
Gotcha. Kind of like NFTs. Good Lord. We don't want to start doing those. Don't get NFTs. Could get some of the real stuff here. I was noticing too, you have some cool pieces. This here, you were saying this is the maquette for the Prometheus statue in Rockefeller Center?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so that's the maquette. That's what the artist used. He made that as a design. To create the bigger one.
And you made this here?
Yeah, we did the castings of that.
Pretty cool. The Prometheus. We covered that in a video too. Look at this. All coming for full circle. And you have also too the MVP trophy for the NBA over there. I actually used to play basketball myself. You think you can make one for me and I could hang that in my room?
Were you an MVP?
Of the NBA? No, I was never them. I was MVP in my family for basketball. Does that count?
Well, if you play basketball the way you handle that crane, then I don't think you deserve one.
I thought I did a pretty good job with that crane. I thought I did a pretty good job. And I see you have with the Princeton Tigers, you give an award for Princeton grads, I guess?
I don't give it, but I do it for them.
Yeah, I went to the University of Florida. It's like the Princeton of Central Florida. Great, and you've had large pieces in here, so this is like, for example, where something like the bull would go, and you start just getting to work on something like that, right?
Yeah, so the bull, I only do 1/4 of the bull, I do it inside here, and then I have to take it out to my main yard, and then I assemble it over there. If I did the whole bull inside here, I wouldn't be able to get it out.
Right.
It wouldn't fit through the door.
Well, and you'd have some egg on your face then, wouldn't you? When you're all done and you can't even get it out the door. All right, well, should we go out to the main yard and then wrap it up there?
Sure.
Let's do it. All right, great. So we made it through the whole process here at Betty Mackey of a piece that comes in, how you make it, how the bronze, we poured bronze. I helped, and I helped. Then we went to the actual the finishing room, and now we're here, kind of where they would take their piece, right, where someone would leave with the piece that's finished. And some of the pieces that you guys have made here, we talked about the Iwo Jima Monument, we talked about the Charging Bull, Wall Street, the Peace Fountain over next to St. John the Divine.
We did the memorial for the firemen that died in 9/11. That's down by Ground Zero. Battery Park City.
Battery Park City, the War Memorial, the giant eagle.
5-foot eagle.
Yeah. You see that? I mean, it's places like this that make everything you walk by every single day in New York, and you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know. It's tucked away here in Greenpoint. Is a small business like Betty Mackey making these larger than life figures. Yeah, that's it. You gotta support small business. That's a running theme of the videos that I make. So yeah, I mean this is the kind of thing you got to know that these things exist and they're still here, and we have to take care of them. Make sure they stick around. All right, so I guess that's been our day, Bill. Thank you so much for having us. Everyone, if you enjoyed the video, give it a little like, a little subscribe, that whole thing, and please check out the Patreon. That's a big help. That's how we fund these things, and like I said, it keeps me from having to hawk, face creams or foot pads. That's a thing. Anyways, Bill, thank you so much for having me.
It was a pleasure.
I really appreciate it. Really appreciate you showing me the ropes here, and I guess I'm just going to take off. Cool.
Hey, well, wait a minute. You can't take that.
Why not? I thought I'd take like a memento or something.
No, I still got to make that into bronze.
Was it valuable or something?
Yeah, it's valuable.
All right, here. Or
What am I going to do now?
oops.